The glory days are behind them. Five-time IPL champions Chennai Super Kings are looking weak, clueless and without a plan. In this world, when everything comes with an expiry date, the way CSK is performing in IPL 2025, it begs the question, is CSK outdated? When MS Dhoni walked into the middle in the 16th over against Rajasthan Royals in Guwahati, everyone was excited to see MS Dhoni bat. But at the same time, a lot of us forgot that it's the team that required 54 runs in about 24 balls. Maybe that is an equation that was a piece of cake for a young MS Dhoni in his prime. But now, at 43 years of age, MS Dhoni looks like a shadow of his past and CSK is facing the brunt of it. Allow me to explain as to why CSK and MS Dhoni combination is no longer the combination to key to success in winning IPL championships for five-time IPL champions. With 19 runs required in the last over, all CSK fans' hopes were pinned on Mahi. But this time, yet again, Mahi failed to take CSK past the winning line. Yes, it was a very good catch by Shimron Hetmyer in the deep. But once MS Dhoni left the field, it was clear that it was all over for Chennai Super Kings. Something very similar happened in the game against Royal Challengers Bengaluru as well. More than his runs, more than his hits or sixes, it was his batting position that became the talk of the town. He was subjected to immense criticism that why a batter of MS Dhoni's caliber is batting at number 9th position. He was criticized even by his former teammate Ravindra Chepauk, who took a dig at him and said कि ये तो बहुत जल्दी आ गए, which means he batted very soon, or rather he came up into the batting order because there were still 5 overs left. To this, Stephen Fleming, the head coach of Chennai Super Kings, has come out and said that MS Dhoni cannot bat for 10 overs. His knees are not used to, or rather cannot take the load of batting for 10 overs after keeping for 20 overs. So it is very clear that CSK is keeping MS Dhoni for just 5 to 10 deliveries, a role which MS Dhoni clearly excelled in last season, but it was CSK that couldn't make it to the playoffs. Let's take a look at a very crucial graphics. On your screen, you can see Chennai Super Kings power play scores in this IPL 2025. Against Mumbai, they scored 62 runs in 5 overs, thanks largely to Ravindra and Ruturaj Gaikwad, and they managed to win. Similarly, in the game against RCB and now against Rajasthan, the CSK unit actually struggled in the first 5 to 6 overs, and the result was very simple. CSK actually faltered. Now let's compare the stats with RCB. RCB is the leading team in IPL 2025. Against Kolkata, RCB scored 80 runs in their first 6 overs. Against CSK as well, they scored 56 runs in their 6 overs. And then finally comparing it with SRH game hasn't changed. Although they have lost 2 games, but look at the power play scores for SRH in this IPL 2025. So, has the cat been set amongst the pigeons? Is CSK lagging behind because they are not capitalizing on the power play score? Now we'll tell you the reasons as to why CSK is unable to make use of the power play like other teams do not. Has Mahi's process formula failed? For a long time, MS Dhoni has advocated that focus on the process and do not worry about the end result. And this formula has actually yielded him 5 IPL titles, 2 Champions League titles and many more glories for India as well. But now in 2025, this process needs a reinvention. And the reinvention is that of capitalizing on the power play. But I would like you to focus on this piece of graphics in particular. Initially, they will take the power play easy, have wickets in hand, score safely, but do not lose wickets in cluster. The second step is accelerate in the middle overs with plenty of wickets in hand. CSK's third step is that one batter will play the anchor's role and everyone will play around them. For example, this role was played by Shane Watson beautifully between 2015 and 2019, in which CSK actually managed to get back 2 IPL titles. And then later, the same role is being carried forward by Ruturaj Gaikwad. Last but not the least comes the finisher. MS Dhoni in his prime and Dwayne Bravo in his prime. Both of them finished off matches, or rather snatched victory from the jaws of defeat for CSK. So this overall has been their formula to succeed. And it has shown results also, as you can see in your next graphics. So between 2008 and 2015, Chennai Super Kings won 2 championships. They were runners-up on 4 occasions, 1 time semi-finalist, and 1 time they qualified for the playoffs. So that's some incredible consistency. But the story doesn't end here. The story actually begins from this point. After serving their 2-year ban, the franchisee returns and returns with a bang. The Dad's Army, that was called back then in 2018, bagged IPL title, and they proved everyone wrong. And that was possibly their biggest and the best win amongst all the 5 IPL titles. Now, look at these graphics for a very, very important reason. As you can see, the number of championships have increased. Between 2018 and 24, CSK has bagged 3 championships, more than their previous time. But also take a look at the number of rejections or the number of dropouts in league stages. CSK has gone out in league stage on 3 occasions: 2020, 2022 and 2024. So that means every alternate season CSK is not able to make it to the playoffs. So that tells you a story in itself. Though the number of championships have increased, their consistency in terms of making it to the playoffs has decreased. The last time CSK managed to win the IPL trophy was in 2023. It's not that far, but the consistency has certainly dipped. So now the big question arises, what ails Chennai Super Kings? Is it the fear of losing out MS Dhoni, or is it the fear of losing the brand CSK here? Because whether you like it or you don't like it, MS Dhoni is going to stop one day. Maybe this year, maybe next season, maybe 2027 season. Then what happens? All the great teams in the past have actually struggled, but they never compromised with one person running the show. Dhoni is literally worshipped in Chennai. You can see fans around him. Everyone in the IPL wants to see a glimpse of MS Dhoni. Yes, for branding, he is a great deal. For bringing in sponsors, he is an awesome deal. But for how long will MS Dhoni actually take brand IPL? Isn't the next generation good enough to take over the baton? These are some really serious questions that needs to be asked, because IPL, especially in Chennai Super Kings matches, is slowly becoming Dhoni matches. Are you a CSK fan or are you MS Dhoni fan? So maybe it is time for MS Dhoni to take a call on his future, not for his sake, but for Chennai Super Kings' future's sake. At 43, he is not getting any younger, and he knows it. His knees have given up, he is still playing. But at the end of the day, we all know MS Dhoni, we all love MS Dhoni for what he did for Indian cricket. He always kept team first ahead of individuals. And now, one more tough decision awaits high school Mr. MS Dhoni. That's all what we have for you in this video. Thanks a lot for watching this video till the very end. And all you MS Dhoni fans, Talay is with CSK, CSK is with Talay.